Good evening, everybody. Welcome to episode number 2. As you can see, everyone's let me down this evening, with the exception of Dave at Coastal.
Good evening, everybody. Evening, Crafty.
Lee, don't like that.
Oh, let's move over. There we are.
That one's better. And we have got an additional benefit tonight of being joined by Sir Siebe van Tilburg. Enter, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Hello, Siebe.
Hello, mate.
So then, we're going to go a little bit hot off the press today because Siebe has been kind enough to join us all the way from across the sea, right? So, what time is it there, Siebe?
8:30. 1 hour later.
An hour ahead, so he's only got half hour until it's his bedtime.
Yeah,
right? Because his mum will be ringing up otherwise because he's only 21. First of many guests that we've got lined up, and I ain't going to say more than that because it's very obvious to me that we are creating a standard that no one else can touch, and I don't want to give too much away. So, Siebe, thank you very much for joining us. We don't need to introduce ourselves. We are very aware of who you are. However, the viewers currently climbing in at the moment don't know who you are. So please introduce yourself to the audience.
Hello, I'm Siebe. I'm 26 years old and I'm a koi dealer / wholesaler from the Netherlands.
The Netherlands. So
2 sentences.
There was a koi show recently. There was a very poor turnout in comparison to recent years, Siebe. And I am going to put you on the spot because I will ask some difficult questions. Because I think that it's only right that we focus on the good, the bad, and the indifferent rather than trying to blow smoke on something that isn't always there. Because as dealers, all of us, oh yeah, hang on, I need to pause that. Lee, congratulations.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fully licensed. Tapaguchi is up and running.
Well done, Lee.
Congratulations, mate. Yeah, fully licensed. So we'll come back to that, though, later on.
Yeah,
right? So going on to the koi show scene, this year, the first show over the seas, we see quite a poor turnout in koi, Siebe. Is that reflective of what you're seeing from people purchasing koi in the Netherlands?
But the result on koi show is poor, you mean?
Yeah. How many people turned out for it? Like the amount of fish that was up there.
Which koi show? Which koi show?
Belgium.
I don't hear Lee, actually.
Belgium.
You don't hear Lee?
No.
Good.
Dave?
Can you hear me, Siebe?
I also don't hear him.
It's mad, but you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Right. We might have to. This seems to be a bit of an issue with the stream service at the minute because this happened to us earlier.
Yeah.
Should I go back in and out?
Hang on. Dave, Lee, if you log out and log back in, let's see if it fixes the problem.
Right.
We are live. These things happen. It's not a problem. But yeah, Belgium koi show. There was that sat recently. There was quite a poor turnout.
Actually, I think with the Belgium koi show, it's more related to marketing, also the location. Like the Belgian and Dutch market are basically one market, and the Belgian koi show is so far to get there, so hard to get there for Dutch people. So not many visitors will go there, and also not many Dutch people will participate on the koi show. And for the Belgian market, you still have some very decent hobbyists, but a lot of big hobbyists there, they don't like to show their fish. So that's quite a difference compared to the Dutch market, where a lot of big hobbyists also like to show their fish. Yeah. So I think that's the reason, basically some of the reasons why the Belgian koi show is going down a little bit.
It's a shame. I mean,
but now I don't hear anybody anymore. Maybe
we're not talking.
Can you hear me?
I don't hear you as well. So a second, I will go out and in.
Can you hear me?
You do that.
Hello?
While you're doing that, can you hear me, Lee?
No.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Maybe Siebe jump out.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, this is a bit of a nightmare tonight, isn't it? We've got a bit of a blip, but hey, like I said, it is live.
Technical, isn't it? It is what it is. So while we're waiting for Siebe to turn things around again, Lee, inspection.
Oh, right. Yeah. So I was lucky enough to get the Carmarthenshire Council out on Tuesday, and two lovely ladies come. Can you hear us now, Siebe?
I think so.
Awesome.
Good.
Yeah, so two lovely ladies came from the Carmarthenshire Council, had a look around. They were actually really surprised because they come through the front door and then they were greeted with a big pond. And then they went, oh, wow. And then they thought that's what the pet shop license was for. I said, no, I said, it's down here as well. And they were like really impressed. And they went, oh, all right. They were here for about an hour and they've actually pretty much hired me to be now the koi expert in the county, because they get a lot of they get a lot of like rehousing, like stuff like that and all that kind of stuff. And they said, we haven't got a clue about it, can we contact you? And I went, yeah, as long as you put my tax bill down. Yeah. Council tax bill down.
Yeah, well, you could do something like that, mate, eventually.
Yeah, but it went all fine, mate. Fine, got the highest level that I could get in, and
that's good.
Happy days.
Well, to be fair, mate, I don't think that's a surprise, Lee, because one thing's for sure, mate, I don't think you've hidden any nook or cranny that you've been through. I mean, to be fair, your ability to build upon now is probably better than most people in the UK because you've done that many of them.
Yeah, for myself, yeah. Yeah.
Mate, it's the start of something great to come.
We'll see.
No, you always put it down, but it is and that. But Siebe, back to you. So just so you're aware, guys, Siebe mentioned that mainly marketing, location, etc., could be something to do with the decline that we've seen over in Belgium. What I want to say is, just to everyone, just as we warm in, any questions, guys, put them into the chat, right? I'm not going to pull everyone's comments up. It's not one of them shows where I'm just going to bring everyone up. If you've got questions, though, please put them in. I'll star them off, and then we will do a small section where we will ask the questions, or if I feel it's good enough to ask immediately, I'll put it up and then basically put that to whoever needs to answer it. On top of after we've got a little bit more out of Siebe, he has been super kind to send us a load of fish over, which I ain't going to lie, I didn't look at these until this evening when I put them all onto the stream service. You're not going to be disappointed. That's all I can say. Oh. There is some beauties to look at. And I don't know nothing about these fish, so we're going to have a little bit of a debate between us, I think. And then maybe we can guess the breeder, right? Pick it apart a little bit, all right? Look at its qualities, look at their qualities, look at their... Well, to be fair, there weren't a lot of negatives, if I'm honest, but maybe pick out a couple of negatives and then get Siebe to tell us what's what. No, we will test our own knowledge there, I think. But Lee probably knows all the answers because he's like that, and he's already done it.
Yeah, it's
call you autistic like Siebe.
Absolutely. So, Siebe, how long have you been trading, my man?
Since 2020. But that's the year I started my first book year. So not so long ago, actually. This year will be my 6th year.
So you actually started during COVID. Well done.
Yeah, just before, actually.
Yeah, just before. Yeah.
On March, it spread out here in the Netherlands. So just before that. But actually, I think COVID for me was brilliant. Yeah, I know it sounds weird, but people stop spending money on holidays or expensive vacations, and they start spending money on fish. And on the other side, all the competitors I had back at the time, they were also forced to only buy fish through online auctions or through whatever they could get. So they didn't have an advantage anymore with input, and the market was growing. So for me, it was pretty easy to create a big market entrance just by being super cheap with the similar fish, because I was selling Dainichi auction fish, Sakai auction fish, Momotaro auction fish, and I just waited for all the competitors to release their fish on the website with the similar prices, and I would select fishes I liked and then just go slightly under their prices, and that helped me a lot in the first 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, I think, I mean, I only come into dealing koi Siebe not long after COVID had kicked off, actually. But one thing I seen was how many koi actually got consumed by the amount of customers. Because you're so right. I mean, I don't know what it was like over there, but over here, you was pretty much ring fenced to be able to go anywhere other than to a pet shop or a park, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
a lot of people took up the hobby of building ponds and buying aquariums and literally saturated the market, and the takings were exponential. It's like I should imagine, Dave, you was in the same.
Yeah.
predicament.
I mean, to be honest, we were fretting at the beginning of it, thinking, wow, we've got all this stock in for the new year. We've got all these fish in for the new year, and now we've got to shut our doors. And I won't lie, we panicked, but it absolutely just took off, Crafty. We were literally, I can never forget it. We were getting down here, obviously, because we were allowed to come here daily because we're a pet shop. We were getting down here about 7 a.m. to start packing parcels out. We'd be here till 6, 7 at night. We'd disappear home. We'd come back the morning, and there was the same again to do. And this went on for week after week. And it got to the point until you run out of products, and then the products started slowing up because obviously you couldn't get the shipments in from China or wherever they were coming. And then it was, bottom drains became gold dust, didn't they? Can you remember? Everybody wanted a bottom drain to build a pond, and we were lucky. We just had about 40 delivered, so we were excellent for a few weeks.
You as the market leaders.
Did you double the money on them?
No, we didn't, Lee.
Hey, do you know what, right? Honestly, off the fish topic, but I can remember doing the house up over COVID, and I needed bags of plaster, and bags of plaster, people were selling them on Marketplace for £50.
You could get a bar of gold cheaper.
Anyway, back to the koi. Go on.
I'll tell you what, though, I was actually building my pond when COVID hit.
Yeah.
And I got to the point where I needed concrete. Just could not get it.
All building materials gone.
Just couldn't get it. And on top of that, HS2, it's a high-speed train line Siebe that's being built through the UK. They in Northampton, down the road from me, they've got this big depot, and every pump for concrete was being used for that. So in the end, I just had to do it all by hand, man. I actually have to graph rather than just turn a tap. But there's a good question just coming from Paul. So, Paul Windmill, question Siebe, what's it like being so young and so big in the game? And that's a good question, Paul. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm big in the game, but I think I'm young. The thing with being young, I think it's at the start it was kind of a disadvantage because some customers I have now also said, at the start I didn't want to buy your fish because you are younger than my kids, for example. And I thought, how could you know anything about koi? That's more like people see this as an experience game, right? How could a 21-year-old guy know anything about fish? Which is quite, I don't find it strange, actually. It's quite right what they are thinking. But now I think it's more like an advantage because when I'm in Japan, I'm very easy to recognize. So when I went to China the first time, I was so surprised that I went to those farms and they said, we know you from Japan, from Dainichi auction, Sakai auction. We saw you everywhere. And I thought, I didn't even realize that I was so noticeable. So I think now it's an advantage, but at the start it was quite of a disadvantage. But at the end, that's what it is. You cannot change your age, so it's,
I mean,
don't worry, Siebe, one day you'll be as old as us.
Yeah,
but with more knowledge.
Yeah, I don't know,
mate. I do a lot more. Well, I don't know. Dave sort of forgot a lot more than we know, if I'm honest, because I think Dave's 74 now.
71.
Getting close to Lee.
Yeah,
Getting close to me.
the grey hair is very deceiving.
Do you find, Siebe, with your age, because unfortunately in the UK, we see that the koi hobby is more aimed at sort of middle-aged people rather than the youngsters. And I think part of that is the demographic over here. It's really difficult to get on the property ladder, and any new properties literally haven't got gardens. So how is it over in the Netherlands? Because, I mean, there's an expanse of land there. Your buildings are all different. You know, is it easy to get property? And do you see many younger hobbyists come in because your age like gives that little bit of a push for people to say it is cool to keep fish at your age?
The thing is, I think many people of my age actually find it cool of keeping fish. That's the first thing. But buying property or houses in the Netherlands is now the biggest problem we have. Too many people and not so many houses. So that's quite a bad thing. What I think is very important for the koi industry as a whole is to make koi cool, and additionally to probably improve more about the bonsai keeping of koi. Now everybody is focused on growing their fish until 90 cm or 1 meter or 2 meter, for example. But if you look at the trend in Japan now, where they can keep koi small with very high quality, that you can do in like 3,000 liters, 2,000 liters, whatever. That's more accessible for young people as well. So I think if we make bonsai keeping cool and those kind of things, then it will be, can change to more younger people getting into the hobby.
Do you know what? And the bonus that the Netherlands have got is there's so little height distance there. They can just dig a hole in the garden and it'll naturally fill up with water.
That's right.
I mean, I think you raise something that I haven't really ever thought about. You're quite right. I agree, Siebe. The
bonsai koi.
Pushing everyone is like hell bent in getting the 1 meter koi. Dave and I was talking about this on air earlier before we went live, and you know what, man? I think that is something that I don't know. I think you're onto something there, mate. If I'm perfectly honest.
I tell you what, sorry, Steve, but he's definitely onto something, because let's be honest. There is always going to be those that want to grow these koi to 85, 90 cm, and, you know, good luck to them. The hobby's for everybody. But has it become a bit of an obsession now, and to the point where even your new hobbyist that walks into the shop, because of what they're reading and seeing, it's oh, will this grow to 1 meter? Will this one grow to 1 meter? And it's because that's all they're seeing, and they now believe that is koi keeping. You get a koi and you grow it to 1 meter. I've got a good customer. His pond is probably 1,800 gallons maximum. He's got too many koi in there, admittedly, but he does his routine maintenance, and he will not, if he has to do that at 6 o'clock on a Friday, that's when it'll be done. He doesn't miss it. He does everything that he should. He's got koi in there, Crafty. Every time I go around there, the condition of them is just incredible. No, they're not growing. They're not, you know, he's had koi in there that were 30 cm what he bought from me. They might be 38, 39 now, 3 years ago. But you can't argue with how good his koi pond looked, the condition, the quality, the different varieties. And I think Siebe's hit the nail on the head. You know, maybe it's time that, you know, it's not all about this obsessive growth.
It's not, you know, something. It's like the last couple of years. I mean, looking on the show scene, and again, that's something else, isn't it? No, that's only one element of the hobby, isn't it? Let's face it. But
very small.
It's extremely small, isn't it?
Yep.
But you know, Lee will vouch for this. But for me, I think that the best sort of size to compete at, your 35 45s, because there is so many people that can achieve such a good koi at that sort of that sort of length, that when you actually see the matrix, you see that it's at its peak around that sort of period. So if you are taking prizes in that, right,
you're doing well.
Battering competition, where not everybody, like Siebe, you're so right, mate. When you're looking at some of the fish that we'll show you in a while, getting fish to that size on its own is, number one, you've got to be lucky to get a fish that can grow to that. Number two, your environment has got to be on point. Number three, you've got to have an endless pit of food and such a strict diet to be able to keep body and develop growth and skin luster and everything else in that, as well as battle through disease, parasite, etc., to keep your fish in such pristine condition. And for me, I think Siebe, that's a really good way of looking into it. I really do. I think that is actually really sublime.
I don't think it's a new concept. Like, that's what I've always said. I like going over to buy Tozai, growing them to knee size, possibly sand size, and then I offload them, because my enjoyment is fish up to 60, 65 cm. And then for me, the interest has really gone out of them. And that's not to say that somebody else isn't interested in them, but for me, that's the sweet spot, that is. I enjoy that fast development period of 18 months, 2 years, and then give the fruits of my labor to someone else.
But it's getting, again, this is where your eye comes into selecting the koi, isn't it? And again, some that Dave and I was talking about earlier, and we'll pick up on some of these when we start rolling into the fish that Siebe sent over. But getting the eye to understand fish development, number one, is super key. When you're looking into your shower, it's like there's a lot of gambles in there. You don't know what the sumi is going to do, for example. Kahaku, too many people try and tick too many boxes when it comes to selecting a Kahaku, that, actually they're doing themselves out of good fish because they're missing the things like body conformation, and, the bits that really do matter, just because of a bit of sashi or a bit of kiwa or the pattern's not quite fully balanced. And, it's meant, and hopefully with these sort of platforms, like this platform that we're coming up, hopefully we can educate people into a point, and it's nothing to do with sales. This is merely down to the fact that too many people tick all the boxes, like try and tick too many boxes for the perfect koi. And that's going to link me into a question, actually, Siebe. When it comes to koi in the Netherlands, right, I know that actually that there's not many dealers in the Netherlands, is there? Do you know how many there are?
Actually, maybe it doesn't look like we don't have many, but I think from the amount of people we have a lot of dealers, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I think every 20 minutes, really, in the west and the south of the Netherlands, there is a koi dealer somewhere.
Serious koi dealer?
Yeah, depends on what you find serious, but somebody who has like a Chamber of Commerce koi dealer number.
There's the Europeans. I want your input on this, because the Europeans, I believe, are very big into their single color koi, more so than Go Sankey. Is that true?
No, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know, actually. I think for my customers, many of them are more into Go Sankey compared to single color fish. But I get the point that probably a lot of hobbyists that don't like shows or higher quality fish, they just want big fish.
Yeah.
So big fish are automatically related to single color fish.
Okay, it's just that when you look in the show scene over there, there's a huge amount of single colour in comparison to the UK, where Go Sankey in the show world is actually quite strong. In the hobbyist world, quite weak. It's a bit of a flip of the coin. Would you agree with that, Dave?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I mean, everybody aspires here to probably get a Go Sankey to a certain size. There are a few people that aspire to get a Yamabuki or etc., but it's not as vast as in the Go Sankey, is it?
No, it's not. Do you find in Europe, Siebe, that I mean over here we seem to have this mental cycle where when hobbyists come into the actual game itself, they will start with the oddballs, a lot of metallics, more pretty looking fish that are more finished. They'll then start to move over, their taste buds change a little bit, more understanding of single colour and body, and then sometimes start in Gosanki and finish in Gosanki. Do you find that same sort of cycle?
Yeah, usually they start to collecting every variety there is. One Kohaku, one Goromo, one whatever.
Yeah.
I always call them rainbow ponds because you have everything in, and then they tend to grow into more red ponds with more Benny, with more Showa, more Sanke, more Kohaku, and the top hobbyists usually end up with 2 or 3 single color fish or Shiru Suri compared next to Gosanke only,
which I believe is probably the best looking pond.
It looks the most relaxing.
Yeah, I believe so. But what is your favourite variety, Siebe?
Actually, I don't have a favorite.
Of
course, I like the Gosanke the most, but it every year it's different. Depends also on what's the best breeding year of each variety. So before I liked the Sanke a lot from Sakai because they had the crazy growth potential. Now Dainichi Kohaku or Momotaro Nu type Kohaku are very strong, so it changes over time.
So what? Can I jump in quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
So obviously you're over in Japan quite a lot now, buying for customers, etc., etc. What's your favourite farms at the moment, north or south? What are you into? Because I understand that you actually do deal with a couple of the breeders to make your own bloodlines.
Hang on. Is this market research, Lee?
Well, no, I know a bit more about Siebe than most people know, but I know he's actually developed. He's got some nice Orogoi over there. He's left them in farms, which he'll explain now, and he's actually come up with some really, really top bloodlines.
Yeah, so actually when I started 6 years ago, I bought some nice Nisai and Sansai, and of course a lot of them I sold, but also some really nice ones I kept for myself or just didn't sell. But it became pretty nice koi at 5-6 years old, and then some breeders which I really knew pretty well. They asked me, can we use it as parent fish? So last year in 2025 I had 3 different breeders, a total of 6 parent sets, and some of them are really good. Like last junior koi show, one of Jinmin Showa from Koda Koi Farm, which is from my parent koi, won silver or bronze. Also 3 or 4 fishes from Kibi, which are from my bloodline, won silver or bronze. Last year the same at All Japan Young Koi Show, Junior Koi Show. That was really it's really awesome experience. I always call it the hobby inside my work because it doesn't generate a lot of money, but it's just very good for the relationship and fun. So that's the more important thing for me.
So you're gonna disclose who the breeders are you're working with at the moment, or is that still trade secret? Or some of the bloodlines they just don't work because the results are just shitty. But the last time at Kibi was really good, and at Koda as well. And I'm going to use a Gosanke breeder in Niigata as well this year with a very nice Sakai fish. So that will be exciting. Yamaguchi?
No Yamaguchi.
Your best friend Odakan-san.
No, he has enough money to buy his own fish.
But just get him some lemon sours. You'll always twist his arm, mate. No problem.
Yeah. No. Last week or Junior Koi Show, Kibi took a fish from Isa, which was my fish, back to his farm. So now we have there 3 nice Isa fishes that he uses for Ginrin, Showa, and Showa. And the results are very excellent, actually. I sent Lee some videos of them before. Yeah, nice. Super nice.
Very nice. So what's your
go on, Lee, sorry.
What's your top farms to actually buy from at the moment? Where would you say is hot off the press now for Siebe's buy-in trips?
Always Odakan. I think the biggest percentage of my koi all come from Odakan. Yoshino was awesome. Yeah, you've been there as well.
Yeah, of
Hosokai,
course.
awesome. Nishiki Maruhide is awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of them actually. Yamaguchi is great, really. You have a lot of those nice little breeders that are perfect. And I like those small breeders a lot because Odakan's not small, but the others, because it's just more fun actually. When you go to
exactly.
Momotaro or whatever big farm, it doesn't feel like you are
Special.
special, yeah.
Yeah.
Dave,
Cool.
have you got anything?
So, what varieties are you breeding? In how many different parents have you got, and what varieties, Siebe?
I think now 6 or 7. They all go Sanke, but some breeders they use male Jimin Showa or Jimin Sanke next to Wagoi, so you get part of it will be Jimin and part of it will be normal. But actually, most of them, when you breed a normal Showa female with a male Jimin Showa, the Jimins are mostly the nice ones. So most of the bloodlines are Jimin Showa. I think 3 of them in total. Now we are trying Sanke, which are also very nice, and Kohaku is also coming up this year.
How many successful spawns have you had?
2025 3, the year before 2, and before that was the first year that was actually the result was good. Because usually when you start breeding with a fish, the first year is either really good or really bad. There's no in between. So with the new Isa fish, that was great. And I also used a very big Sakaguchi fish 2 years ago or 3 years ago already. And that first year was terrible. We actually got a lot of offspring, but the Benny quality of all of the fish was so bad. And you only get to know that after like 3 or 4 months.
It's so from your first set of spawning.
Yeah.
How many Tatagoi have been pulled out?
0. We all threw them away at 6 months old.
Really? All of them went on the crap pile, like.
Yeah, it was really nothing interesting in there at all.
Bear food.
That really shows the level of commitment and quality that comes out of Japan, right?
That's what we were talking about last year, I think. When they try in these new varieties and these new Orogoi sets, it's a long process. And like I said, they can only do it one, and then it doesn't work, and you've got to wait for another 12 months to get another set going. It must be so stressful for them.
Yeah, I've talked about this with Sakai last year, and because I found the Dragon Ball bloodline so special because they put Sanke male with Showa female, and then at the end they got the strangest combinations of those. So you had Sanke pattern and Sanke Sumi, but with Motoguro. Or you got a Showa pattern, Showa Sumi, but with Tijime. So I said, what were you actually expecting? But the thing that they wanted is they want a new blood from Isa that they used the first time to get into their Gosanka bloodlines, just to make it wider, because they don't want to inbreed at all. And I said, but how big is the chance that we will actually be successful as Dragon Ball? I said, it's probably like 75% luck and 25% skill. So that's the amount of luck you need with breeding fish. And that's why it's altogether a big numbers game. The more parent sets you have, at the end, the more nice Tatagoi Tosa you will have.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. And it's the fun thing for me in that is when you start putting Issa blood, is it Showa bloodline they're using off of Issa?
Yeah, the first Dragon Ball 1 was with Issa Showa.
Which is quite surprising because the Dragon Ball Sumi and Sankey shown and stayed, like, rather than going through the development phases, the baby Sumi that was there never really ever retracted under, always stayed at top, where I've always found that the Issa side of Showa, the Sumi is constantly up and down in the ponds. Well, the fish that I've had, the good fish you're paying massive money for in this. I mean, let's face it. So, just trying to stabilize the Sumi and an Issa fish over here, I think is really, really quite difficult. But that said, it makes an interesting koi because it never looks the same year in year out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's interesting. I've got a question from the Masters of Nishikigoi. If you could only buy from one breeder, mate, in the north, who would it be?
I knew that straight away.
And why?
Yeah, if I want to continue with selling fish properly, then the only answer is Odakan.
Odakan.
Yeah.
Powerhouse. Yeah.
Yeah, but also the mix of fishes he has is you can buy last April I went there, and in 2 days I bought Tamara fishes, Sakai Karashi, Sakai Gosanke, Matsue fishes, Odakan own breeding, Showa Odakan own breeding, Goshki. Yeah, name it and he has it. He doesn't have it in big quantities, but if you are in the Odakan circle, then you really have a nice place to go there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's one of them. You can sit and marvel in some of his ponds as well. I ain't gonna lie. It's like he is. Oh, yeah, question for you, Siebe. With Narita coming up north and opening a new fish house up there.
Yeah.
How's that going to affect the Nagata prefecture?
I think actually it won't change so much because, I think you can go there and buy some fish, but that was the same in going to Nagoya and buy some fish. I think it's pretty smart from Narita because now they can move fishes from small farms, so they're much quicker and condition them for shows there, which is much better. So actually, I think it's great. You don't have to travel so far anymore to Nagoya only for Narita. If he's going to have events there, it will be awesome.
Do you know what, as well? Obviously, with that, what Siebe was just saying now is perfect because when you're up north in the Nagata prefect, you can actually go to his facility now and buy fish. Before, he still had facilities there to keep fish, but you couldn't go there because he's got one at Hiroi, he's got one down with Koi Bokaju, he used to put stuff down there. So he's got loads of little holding spaces, but because they own by other people, you couldn't go there and buy. But now he's got his own place where you can turn up, like down in Narita's place, and buy it, I would have thought. I'm really looking forward to going to see it as well.
Is he going to put the shits up him?
What's that?
Is he going to put the shits into people like the smaller dealers like your Yoshino, your Yamaguchi, etc.?
What about the agents as well?
That's where I'm getting at. It's like, is it going to really turn it over to a point where it becomes a one-stop shop for Nagata?
I don't think Niigata will
be the devil's advocate, mate.
Yeah. No, I don't. Niigata will ever be a one-stop shop. Actually, I think it's also too much fun to just go everywhere. And as you know, Narita is just not the cheapest.
No.
So you can find really nice koi for show there, but for selling, in my point of view, it's not the best. Correct. Because and that's what he says himself as well. Yeah, he's the best, but he's also expensive. And nothing wrong with that, because if you want the best koi, then you have to go to Narita.
Siebe.
Yeah.
Sorry, do you think this, though, will change because he's got his facility to do all that down there, do the show scene and everything? Do you think there may be a chance that he may use this primarily, not specifically to get all the good koi, but he'll go round now and getting,
the sort of an Odakan effect there. Another Odakan, basically, yeah.
Because the thing is with Odakan goes to I went with him to Matsue last year, and that was really an eye opener because when I go to Matsue, I will buy 6 Nisai and 1 Sansai, for example, and then I'm all happy and my wallet is empty. But then I was there with Odakan, and he just buys 60 Nisai, 15 Sansai, some Yonsai, and 2 ponds of Tosai. He buys it all together, makes a price of everything together in once. He ships the next 2 days, the next day, the week after, whatever, just very close to that, and he pays straight away. So his input price is so low, and he also had a lot of fishes. But what's him all about is the top class of those fishes, because everything below is just for him to sell as quick as possible to make those top fishes much cheaper for him. And that results in that he can sell those top fishes for top prices because the quality is awesome, but his profit is really high. And the fishes all below that level, he sells to me, which for me is great because when I go to Matsue, they are more expensive. He still makes profit, but all the profits he makes on those cheaper ones are actually used to get those top pieces. And Narita, of course, he can do the same. Maybe he will, but I think, yeah, it's not so interesting for him because where they are focused on is Koisho stuff, to have, for example, good stuff for his events. And I think he will have this Niigata place for new events, Niigata mud pond games, whatever. They will come up with something. I think it will be just the same package, but just different location. I don't think they will change the formula.
I think that actually adds an element. When you look at, I mean, I know that this year, did you have a go in the event when he had that like fruit machine sort of thing where you had a ticket and seen if you won or where you come in the pecking order, etc.?
No, I didn't. I think this one was Arts Collection, right? In December.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, no, I didn't go. I didn't go Arts Collection.
Mate, slacking, mate. You should have been there in December. You know what I mean? And that's
the quality
man
is
of
awesome.
your talent, right? You should have. Now joking with yourself. I mean, I think actually it sort of does add that element for us dealers that travel to Nagata to have the ability to walk into a facility from Narita. You know, that it may be a bit of a worldie where, you know, because of where he is down south, it's not always operationally feasible to spend that amount of money to go down there, you know, to try and purchase fish that you'll probably, you know, it's so difficult getting shipped up north and all the added costs that are put in with the logistics on it. You know, it's not always the most feasible thing for anyone in the UK to do. So, you know, for me, it adds an element, actually makes the fish become potentially more affordable.
Yeah, probably, but I don't think Narita will ever be a farm like Niigata farms, because of course, they want you to go there and buy fish. But on Marusai, for example, you can just park your car and start bowling fish, whatever you want. But yeah, they like to sell in events, same as Dainichi. They don't want you to go there and start selecting 2 boxes of Tosai. They want you to bid on online auction. Because for them, it's less work sorting. They only have to do the pictures in the movies. It's so much easier for them. And that's the same with Narita, the same with Odakan. When I asked Odakan, I have a customer who wants a really, really good Nisai. Sometimes he says, I have this koi. Or like last Junior Koi show, he sent me a really nice koi that competed really far in the show. But usually he just says, go on and bid on the event, please. That's what they want. Yeah. They don't want the hustle of everybody going there.
It's one thing. Sorry, mate, my dog just made me jump. Then over in Japan, with you going in and having such good success in the Japan shows, have you seen that as? Do you see that as important as a koi dealer in the Netherlands? Is it a must
to participate or to win?
No, just to participate. Number one, and let's elevate that question to, you know, taking awards as well.
I think, yeah, because when I promise to my customers, this one is really awesome, you should buy this fish, and it doesn't win anything. Of course, this will happen sometimes, but on the big amount of fish, there should be more winners than losers. And of course, it's not that I feel pressure, but before it was, I was super happy when I won big prizes, and now it feels more like a relief. Because some of those small fishes are really expensive, and I said to them, these are great for show. And when I say to customers they are great for show, they have to be great for show. And before it was just this might be nice, and then it won gold prize, and you were all over the world with having a gold prize. And now if I don't win a Kokugyo or whatever, it doesn't feel it feels like a failure, the whole show.
But it's really not, though, is it? Because let's face it, when you start to look at the special prizes, so to speak, it's one fish that takes it in each variety at size levels, etc. To take a Kagugio award, you've got to have something special if it's not taking a GC or a champion of any major. It's when you look at the stage over there's so many fish that are entered into that competition. There can only be one fish that takes certain categories, right?
Yeah,
you
and the
put
thing is,
yourself on that pedestal, though, Siebe, right? That's and I think that builds into people where when you're giving a service or providing, the platform to enter in there, having that sort of accolade behind you, you're already putting yourself under pressure because it's there, and that expectancy grows with you as you start to become a little bit more, let's say, a bit more of a champion in a dealership of being able to take awards. You're going to find that naturally, though, to be perfectly honest. You can't win them all, mate.
No. Of course, I realize I can't win them all, but it's quite sad if let's say something 5 million yen, a small Nissan, wins nothing.
Yep.
And then they see a Narita auction fish of 100,000 yen win gold prize or first prize. And that, of course, sometimes things like this happen. But if I do this 3 times in a row to the same customer, they will think, God, this guy gives the worst advice ever.
I mean, that price that you give there is 25 grand in UK money for people that aren't aware. Right, just bear with me. I'm just getting rid of some people that are clearly putting some nasty comments in the comments, but they're gone. Don't worry about it. It's done.
Can I see the comments even? I don't know.
You should be able to. If you have, are you on a laptop or your phone?
No, I have it now. I have it here in the comment section. Yeah,
I've taken them off anyway. So anyone that's putting any nasties in there, they get banned straight away. No second chances. I'm not going to call them out. They're just going to get banned immediately because you don't need that. It's not what we're about.
No, I really don't mind too much.
No, it's more aimed at what we're talking about more than anything. But
that's all right. That's all right. Yeah.
Unless it's next to, it's like part of what we're talking about. So Ryan or Kev's just popped on. So it's probably Ryan because he says he loves you and he is a bit like that, and he, you know what I mean? It's weird. I'm only joking, Ryan. We love you as well. Right, going back to or leaving Japan out. Hazard a guess. What food do you use in the Netherlands? And I'm going to push out there. So I was having a bit of a think about this earlier. Food is a massive topic in the UK. There's always a battle of what's good for the money. When actually, I really think that there's not enough research done by hobbyists to understand what koi food is, and they jump on a little bit, just constantly looking at protein, etc. But are you? I'm going to put this. Are you an FD food dealer?
I use a lot of FD.
More than sake.
I think I'm one of the only ones that never used sake in his life, and not because I didn't like it, but it just never got on my path. Yeah. But what I like about FD, probably the build up the most, is the low protein. It doesn't trash your water so much. The bodies you get on it are really nice. And I just don't like high protein foods, even for Tosai. Maybe it will change over time, but so far I like the lower protein of the build-up a lot.
Okay, what benefits do you get from that?
Yeah, actually, I don't. I've studied on the University of Wageningen, which is quite a difficult name, but they are like a food university. Mm-hmm. So my general knowledge about food intake and those kind of things is quite decent. But because when you look at any research going into common carp or even koi, when they state high protein, it's 30%. And in koi, when we state high protein, it's 45% or over.
or higher. Yeah.
or higher, yeah, whatever. But in those researches with high protein, they say, yeah, 30 is already high enough to have maximum growth. There's no, yeah, that's like the peak. And it's not that they're getting super worse after 30%, but everything excessive over 30 is kind of a waste, which trashes your water, which trashes your filter. Yeah, that's why I liked about the FD build-up the most, is that it has quite decent amount of protein of 36.
You know, and this is
Interesting.
it's so good getting another point of view from another country where sake doesn't dominate the market. I would imagine. I would imagine that FD food dominates more in the Netherlands than sake. Would I be right in assuming that?
I think sake is still the biggest.
I think sake,
biggest food.
sake. Yeah.
What about your food sponsor? Because you have a food sponsor, don't you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to use from this month.
And what is it? So
it's named Keygen, and it's totally new, and it's also a new formula. Everything's new basically. So that's what I like so much about it. So I'm going to try that on my growing ponds for this whole season, and make YouTube videos about the progress of those fishes every month, including body size and body weight. So yeah, also some hobbyists ask me, but are you going to have a decent statement about the quality of the food, because they are your sponsors, so probably you will say it's good. And I said, but the fishes won't lie. It's I'm going to only give the kitchen food. If it's terrible, you will see it on the fish. If it's really good, you will see it on the fish. So at the end, the Matsuotos will do their thing. And if they don't grow, or maybe 1 cm or 2 cm, you can say, the food is probably pretty bad. But if they do perfectly, then you can say, the food is probably pretty good.
yeah.
And that's what I like about foods as well, is that there's a continuous developing of what's good for your koi and what's not. Also, sorry if my story is really long, but when I went to China last December and year before, what they do with foods is very different with what we have. Is they really cook for their koi, and I once made the same paste as they do for their koi, and of course with 1 week feeding you can't mention any difference. But the body and the size they get on their fishes is incredible. Really, you can't imagine how big they can get in such short time.
Have you been working with? Has there been any Japanese input on the food that you're currently putting together?
The kitchen, you mean?
Yeah.
No, that's all made in Germany, I believe.
So, okay. That's right. I was just trying to see if there was an influence in Japan behind some of this.
They use a special. I actually, this is only what they've told me, and probably I don't know if this is scientifically true, but they use a special Japanese algae, RG92, which I think could be quite interesting. Just to try and use what it does for your fish, and probably will be. I think from next month will be also available in the UK. So if you ever wanted to try it or test it, I think it's very interesting.
And where that food is it a food from Holland, or is it a Japanese food?
No, it's originally made from the same people that made GPD.
So Japanese.
Yeah, he's Dutch, but he did it together with Richie. That's how they designed GPD. So
that's interesting. Yeah,
there are some people with a lot of knowledge behind it, and that's why I also liked it. Is that not somebody like my neighbor, for example, thought, let's make some money on koi food. Went to a manufacturer and say, make this, make that, put a nice package on it, and awesome. There we have our special koi food. So it's really a new thing. Which can be awesome, but which can also be terrible. But we don't know because I didn't test it yet.
Excellent.
Well, I think that trials. I mean, we got somebody in the comments. I don't know if you know who he is, but trying to see him. But he breeds his own koi in the UK. His name's Rick from New Forest Koi. he does food trials as well, or he done one last year, and it's quite surprising the results that he pulled from four different foods. So, you know, you are so right in when you say the fish don't lie, and when he pulled them fish up, the fish don't lie. You see really good colour on a low grade food, but no growth or body. Where you see a lot of body, maybe not so good skin luster. It's just a question of getting that right balance that is so key, you know. But ultimately, I think that when it comes to koi food, and it is a big subject, let's face it, it's how you use it that makes the biggest difference. You know, it's like, you know, and I don't think that. Again, I think that there's a lot of people out there that jump on the bandwagon of price and, let's say, you know, who has got the best food without actually really understanding the breakdown of the food, what it does with a fish, etc., or even how to administer it as a diet. You know, it's like, I don't know. I may be pushing.
What I found funny about some fish food is that people judge it based on how much your koi like to eat it. But yeah, when you go fishing and you feed the carp in the pond, you give them some lures that they really want to eat it. Give it to your koi, they will enjoy it so much because it's fat. It has everything they love. But if you give to a small kid McDonald's every day, they will love it. Oh, awesome, a new hamburger and fries. But at the end, it won't be the best diet for them.
No.
So
right.
That's they love the food. They really eat it so well. It's, in my eyes, not a judgment at all. Also, when you change foods, they are used to, for example, sake. When you start feeding FD, probably the first week they won't like FD because they're used to the sake diet.
Absolutely.
All the way around. And then, you should just continue feeding FD, and at the end they will like FD as much as they will like sake. But that's just how koi work.
I mean, Crafty, you probably get this a lot because there are a lot of people who, once they first get into koi, they'll do their pond, they'll get their fish, and then they'll start to look at a food. And generally, the first thing is, I want one with high protein.
Yeah, 100%.
The highest protein, because I want to grow these koi big, and this is where they head straight for a food that's just got massive protein levels, and they're probably feeding at too low a temperature anyway to absorb this.
And come under problems.
Yeah.
You know, and this is something, Dave, isn't it? Where you look at digestion in koi. And I don't think people realise how important it is for a koi to go there and out the other end and actually absorb the quality of the food that's coming out.
Yeah.
And if they can't do it and it ends up stuck in their digestive tract, you are in a world of hurt because your water temperatures aren't right. And you're feeding a food that cannot be physically cannot be ground down in that belly, and it sits there. And what I like to remind people is we've all had them pellets on the side of the pond that have never been cleaned up that turn hairy, right? It's like, imagine what it's doing in that gut, you know, when it can't be moved, right? You know, they can't have medicine that make them go like we can.
It's also what Siebe is saying about the amount of proteins. I mean, I was talking to a really knowledgeable guy from Holland as well. I mean, and he says that Tozai need a different protein, a different food to Nisai. Nisai need a different food to older fish, Yonsai, and you know what I mean? I mean, high protein for a Yonsai is probably not that good, is it? Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's not.
I mean, if I was hammering down rusks, I'm sure it'd give me the shits. You know, because it's a different makeup, isn't it? So you know,
I spoke in length to Okawa last year about his feeding regimes, and how he feeds his Tosai, his Nisai, and Sanzai is a million miles apart different.
Totally different mix,
Different temperatures. Totally different. Yeah.
I mean, it's okay if we've got the ability to keep fish in different ponds, but we haven't. And this is where it changes, Dave, isn't it?
Yeah,
when you look at it from a hobbyist point of view, you you do want a food that is going to service as much as you can in your pond. But let's face it, we're not all going to go and buy 20 tozai and then see them through until their end of their life and change a diet as their age, you know.
I think the customer ultimately wants a food that they can use easily without too much thinking about it, because there are, like Siebe alluded to, if you start going whacking in 40-50% food, there's not going to be long before you can be in some serious. You'll either have fish with bellies like they should be in a carp lake. You'll either have, you'll just create all sorts. The growth just will not be evenly across that koi. That they'll start to really misshape badly, and that's if they don't do any other internal damage. So you're just looking for a food for a lot of hobbyists. They're just looking for a food that's very forgiving.
I think that one thing that gets missed on koi food a lot is probiotics.
Probiotics, yeah.
Everyone is hell bent on how much protein is in a food and how big that they can get a fish, and that really brings us back to when Siebe brought up about everyone is hell bent on getting an 80-90 cm koi. It's like everything is so single track minded, and you know, when you look at probiotics, the amount of benefits that a probiotic in a koi food brings is by far more important than what protein is in a food. Because not only fish health is number one key, and it should be for every one of us, but number two, having the ability to digest better, having the benefits of that probiotic and what it does for your koi in skin, luster, etc., but and also the less mess that comes out the other end, and how good that keeps the environment, how well it feeds the actual filter, how the water is not getting, as Siebe put it earlier, absolutely battered, you know. And I think if we can start to change people's mentalities on getting away from just high protein, right, and using the right food at the right temperatures, because let's face it, I mean, Siebe, what sort of temperatures do you get in the Netherlands? It's all, I would imagine it's fairly similar to us.
Yeah, probably it's the same.
You know, and how many people use air source heat pumps, like hobbyist wise, over?
More and more, because solar panels are so popular here.
Yeah,
and so I think 8 out of 10 hobbyists here, they have heating on their pond.
Okay.
You know, and your electricity over there, I can imagine it's fairly cheap as well, eh?
I don't know, but I think so. Same as water. It's pretty cheap and very good here.
Yeah, you see, and that's, I think, in the UK, well, I don't think I know, it's so bloody expensive to heat a pond. Just one pond. It can be, you know, if you look at what the average sort of wage is, you are looking about probably 15 to 20% of an average wage every month just for heat.
That's terrible.
Yeah, you know, and when we look at that, all right, there's over here, most koi keepers have just not got the ability to keep that environment at a decent level or raise the temperatures where they can feed a good growth food. Right, so like you said, you get above a certain amount, it all goes to waste, creates health issues, etc. If you then bring it back to like a balance where you can feed it at a decent temperature rate, and the fact that you're getting spiking and constant peaks and troughs in water, you know, that on its own, when you're putting a koi food in early in the morning, you know, you could be running on an ambient pond, you could be running 12 degrees, midday 20 degrees, and then like 10 o'clock at night it could be back down to below 12 degrees. Yet we're feeding the same amount, the same food all the way through the day, and of course that environment has a different effect on the fish as it goes through. Unlike Lee's more than happy to cook his fish at 28 degrees constant.
I don't know if you've seen that video. There was a video put out by Marichico's boy down south. He interviewed Sakai about his feeding regime and how he did you see that when he put it up to 25 degrees and then he dropped it down and then back up because that re-triggered the feeding habits, he said, of the big koi.
But you also see growth when that temperature comes down as well. It's weird. You tend to get that little growth spike when them temperatures start to drop down. And if it's the same video I'm thinking, he was getting a good 2 cm just off the back of dipping and coming off.
Yeah,
but that's just a result of nature, because koi, of
Bulking
course,
up, ready for winter.
yeah, that's basically the thing. That's why if you keep koi indoors, for example, you have some nice light sleep, you'll put it on a timer. If you, for example, during summer, you think, oh, my fish start to eat less and less, yeah, just shorten your timer so the days will be shorter for them. Reduce temperature a little bit, and then leave it for 2 weeks and go up again. And then they will think, it's going to be winter. We have to be full of fat. And then they start eating a lot.
Crazy. Yeah, it is. Interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah.
Should we have a look at some fish, or let's do some questions first?
Yeah.
I've started off a few. Let's have a quick look. I don't want to go. Actually, there you go. Let's put that one out there. So, Sean Leonard, can you use a standard Lurnex with 0.28 salt?
I have.
Yeah.
I have. Fine. Yeah.
Yep. It's not
Absolutely
a problem.
no problem.
Yeah.
Most. It's going to bring me on some actually, Siebe, because I don't think that people are aware of the differences between Europe and Great Britain with medications. So,
Medications. Yeah.
What's different?
Well, I don't know. This is where Matteson is it something that you're allowed to use?
I think Lurnex should be the same, right?
Yeah, we'll follow European rule. That will be banned in Europe because we would have taken on the ban from Europe, I would have thought.
Yeah, but the thing is with Flukex that you have in the UK, we cannot sell it in Europe because it's not allowed. But I think with Lurnex it's the same, because Lurnex, the normal one, doesn't have praziquantel, and the Pro or something up has praziquantel, right?
It does, yeah.
That's the difference between the two. I think that
That's
for
the
both
big
it's okay.
Yeah. So, okay, so mainly, any differences in medication that you've seen in the UK environment versus the Netherlands environment? Any differences at all?
Yeah, the Flukex is the only thing I found different the last year or so. Maybe some more things, but I'm not aware of.
I mean, I've never used Flukex. I'm more of a Lurnex Pro go-to. Dave, any experience with Flukex?
Yeah, I used it. I've always used flubanol-based products. Have always worked for me quite well. But on a batch of koi 2 years ago, I did my normal regime and I did a scrape 4 or 5 days later, and not only had it not even made a dent into it, it had gone tenfold worse. So I then did another really good dose with flubanol, and I just couldn't shift these. And it was at the time when Flukex was just been launched. So I said to Kate, look, we've exhausted what we're doing here, and it's just not making any difference whatsoever. So we put Flukex in, and after literally 3.5 days, it was on the 4th day, this was at the off-site facility, I thought, all right, I'll just do a scrape to see on the 2 or 3 fish that I knew were absolutely lathered in them, what if it's making any headway. And I did a scrape, and I couldn't find a single one.
Wow.
After that, and that's so since then I've used it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
that's why I take Flukex with me when I go to the UK, because when I'm having quarantine, and I use flubanol based products or praziquantel based products, I know my customers will use the same. So I like to use the Flukex because it's different for my customers. Yeah. So I can do a preventive treatment with Flukex because if I use flubanol based or praziquantel based, and it's not powerful enough, the parasites can get used to those products. So next time you have to do a higher dosage. But I don't want that to happen to my customers. So that's why I use Flukex, because it's different.
Yep. I've had very good results with it. The only thing I would say is, 100% make sure you haven't got a trace of any other chemical in your water when using it, because that can have an adverse effect. So just make sure whoever is watching, if they're going to use it, just make sure that they've got nothing else. They haven't just done a formalin and malachite 2 or 3 days before or something like that.
The big one
What
is the
about
PP
salt?
one, isn't it?
Salt, fine.
Salt is
Fine,
okay,
salt.
yeah.
You can use
Yeah.
it together, Lee, yeah.
Yeah, you can use it together. Absolutely no problem. Yeah, it works really, really well.
The big one is a method over here that is fairly well documented is doing a PP treatment prior to putting a Lernex in. And I think in the early days, before people really understood what they was using, they had some quite nasty results by putting a PP in and then Flukex, when it sort of a lot of burnt fish, let's just put it that way, is the way to put it. But it seems to have, it's one of our best-selling products in the shop. I must admit, online we churn out a huge amount of that, and I just from the horror stories that I heard initially, after you've said that you've used it, Dave, I'm going to use it, and if my fish are knackered, I'm going to bill you, mate.
Yeah. and to be honest, I've found now that I don't even PP at first either.
No, it's
But the UK is really a PP area, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's over here. Yeah, I still know some people who use PP, but I really advise all my customers to throw away all the PP they have. In some cases, it's very usable, but in many cases, it's just making things so much worse, because it's so heavy sometimes for koi, is that it just makes your pond imbalanced. Instead of what you want with your koi pond, in my eyes, is that it's balanced and there's many things changing. But with PP, so when people are experiencing it, it can be awesome. But many people, when they use it for the first time or the second time, whatever, they just giving a blow to their fish, and at the end, they will be worse off than before the PP treatment.
I think you're quite right. PP is very much an experienced medication over here. Initially, when people dose, it's far too weak, and they actually don't really do much other than create a bit of an adverse effect in their pond. And the reason for that is because you don't give it the respect it deserves. It, like Siebe, it can just literally wipe the whole pond out, because and we've seen that recently with somebody that's used it. But I think for us, because our medication is so expensive over here, I don't know price comparisons. People look at the cheapest way possible, and if you can master PP, it's actually really quite a decent treatment to be able to hit pretty much everything except white spot.
Yeah, but I get the point. When you get fishes from your mud pond, for example, I don't know if from Japanese breeders do it, then you put them in PP. I saw Japanese breeders doing crazy amount of PP. For a short period. It's insane what they do. But then I get the point. But on many occasions, I think salt is both cheaper, much safer, and as effective.
You see, and this is interesting, because the UK, I think opinions changed a little bit on salt over the last couple of years, but actually the UK has always been that salt is for sea fish.
But same here. But
is it really? Okay.
The strange thing is that now you will see his fish later on, of Philip Popper. The first time he ever used salt in his life was 2 days ago, because he was so scared to use it. But I've talked to him for 3 years now, and I said, if you want to prepare your fish better for the koi show, or when you have something, you want to have more balance in your pond before the show because you don't want any parasites or any weird things to happen, put in salt. But also for many hobbyists, when they have some parasites, a salt bath, which is very easy and very safe actually.
A lot of people don't salt bath properly over here, though, Siebe. They don't get the level they should.
It's a much safer and cheaper option compared to PP.
What kind of dosages do you suggest for the baths and for the ponds for parasite treatment? Maybe what you're on about, and then maybe before the koi show to obviously strip mucus and stuff like that. What kind of percentages?
What they do in Sakai, for example, is they put 5 grams a liter. So every 1,000 liters, it's 5 kilos. Yeah, I don't know
in the pond.
In gallons. Yes, in the pond. They do it 2 weeks before. Then they cool down to 18, and they use some other products. And then your fishes are super white, and the skin is it's very shiny. Well, when you have some parasites and you move up to 5 or 7 grams a liter, then it will probably burn away everything except worms. But you can do worm treatment. Stuff, you can do worm treatment together with salt, which is I don't know with Flukex, but with flubanol or praziquantel, you wouldn't burn your fish basically. When even that sometimes, not many occasions, but very few times, when it doesn't really work, you can use a salt bath, and then you go. Usually, when I do a salt bath, which I did today, also for koi show treatment, then I go to 15 grams a liter, so 1.5. Do that for you just dissolve all the salt in a bowl. Move the fish in, put on air. It's not really necessary, but better to put some air. And then you can also just not scrape, but just move over your fish a little bit. And mucus, then you just leave it for 10 minutes, and it will be so clean. The skin will be perfect. And also many parasites, basically all except worms, will be vanished because they can't hold the osmosis of the salt water, so they just pop basically.
Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't thought of that bit.
And even when it's 15, or you can go to, I did 18 or 20 grams a liter, which is quite a lot. And what if some people want to try it, really, if your fishes are weak, they can, drop a little bit.
Roll over a bit.
Yeah, they can roll over. And when they roll over, straight away put them in a bowl without salt. So usually when your fishes are weak, have a bowl with no salt water, just pond water, and a salt bath. So when they drop over, just move them back a little bit. Yeah, let them get ready again, and then put them in again. And then I saved a lot of fish like that.
Over here, Siebe, the salt bath, like I said, it's over here. People do not put enough salt in to make it a salt bath. It's at a tonic level. It's the fact that I think people over here would absolutely be gobsmacked to see a fish turn white and turn, and which is the level that you sort of need to get it right down to the scale.
Yeah, but on the other side, if it's getting brown and doing this on the surface with PP, then it's fine. But when it's salt, which is a natural product, in my eyes, it's much safer for also the internals of the fish. I know it's
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, I agree with Siebe. Yeah.
Well, I don't disagree with you. I think actually, again, that is. I mean, I know that preparation for some people going to koi shows is a PP treatment a few days prior to showing their koi. Not once have I ever thought about the effects that a salt bath would do with regards to conditioning. I think that's actually again another point from somebody else from another part of the world where you're taking things from Japan, putting it into what you do. A lot of us don't see that sort of stuff. And
but also when I did koi shows, also in Italy 2 weeks ago, I think if we didn't use salt in preparation for the fish, and when they got back from the koi show in Italy, the condition of the fish will be worse because the stress level of the fish gets so much lower when they are around 3 grams a liter of salt, because they love the osmosis of that range. It's for them. It's so the stress level is lower than on 0% salt. So for them, it's awesome. And even when I do koi shows and I check the water quality, and I think the quality is quite shitty, I put in salt in the koi show tanks.
You're not allowed to do that over here.
No, I was not allowed on the koi show there as
Good
well.
man, I like.
But yeah, I did it anyways. But
Yeah,
then
so
the funny
right.
thing was they start testing with drop
Yeah.
test the water, and the test will be way off because when
Yeah.
you do the drop test with salt in it, yeah. So they were testing it and they didn't know I put salt in, so they were very scared that all the fishes would die. But at the end, they were perfectly fine.
Crafty, there's a lot of videos. I think there's a lot of dealers in Indonesia and places like that use the salt method. I've seen the videos where they've got them in a big bowl and they're literally up and down. They're just washing it like you'd wash a dog or a baby, aren't they? I've seen them use it quite a lot.
Sometimes when you have very big fish, they have the quite old skin. They get that white mucus on the head, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, just put them on a bowl, a hand of salt, and just scrape it off. And that's how they prepare those big fish for koi shows.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, man. I am employing. I am going to employ this into the shop. I am. I mean, don't get me wrong. We use in the shop we use salt because it's such a high stressful environment anyway. But yeah, I think at hobbyist level, again over here we just shy away from salt so much.
Well, if you look in Japan, it doesn't matter which breeder you go to,
everywhere is salt.
Salt is the breeder's best friend. It's
Everywhere,
there by the pallet load. I mean, and another thing as well, I did a video a couple of 3 years ago, and what I did was I just got 25 kilos sack, just cut it, poured it in, and obviously the comments were, "That's cool.
So scary."
You should mix it up." And yet, when you watch them in Japan, I've seen them line up 10 bags and just go like that and all lift it up like that, and it just goes in, and the fish don't.
I can't remember where I was. First year I was there, mate, I actually seen a digger scoop just.
Yeah.
Like,
But actually,
I think it was Marahiro. Either Marahiro or Marasay. It was one of the two.
We think the breeders get more. We think the breeders get through more pallets of food a year. It's going to be salt.
Yeah, salt is by far the most.
Yeah,
but I think I do the same. When I add salt to the ponds, I just do this. I do.
So
but when you look at the researches on salt level and stress to common carp, it's better to do it step by step on 12 hours time. Just go to 3, then go to 4, then to 5.
Yeah, I never take it. Yeah, if I'm going
the difference is so low, and to dissolve all the salt in a bowl and put it in, I don't think the work is worth the stress level. Actually, it doesn't make a big difference, but scientifically, it's better to do step by step.
Yeah, but do you know what? In Japan, they use the crystals, which are quite big, and I reckon when they tip those in, those crystals are so big, it dissipates a lot slower, and I think that's a lot better. But I don't think you can get it. Can you get that in the UK and Europe? The crystals?
We do. Blagdon. They do it, Lee, the bigger crystal stuff, but it's so expensive.
Really? I thought it would be cheaper, see? It's less refined.
5 kilos is like 40 quid.
That's also a weird thing because they have 1,000 difference of salt, but at the end, all salt is, I don't know if it's the same in English, but natrium, chlorine, NaCl, it's all the same. So they can sell you the most magic salt ever, the best for your fish, koi salt, whatever. But the salt you put on your French fries is the same. So what Lee is saying, if you want to have it slowly dissolved and you want to pay for that, obviously it's fine. But you can go to a farmer, for example, who has a cow farm or whatever, and they have the same salt as you can use for your koi pond.
I think we've all learned something from Siebe, not maybe learned, but realised that what people use in different places. I think actually, Siebe, so far, mate, you've brought a great deal of stuff for us to chew on in the future as well. and hopefully people, I mean, we've got 180 people watching. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in. We're not leaving yet, but God, 180 people on episode 2. That is, mate, that's Siebe's good looks that have done that, because it ain't mine. But let's have a look at now. We know nothing about. Do you want it? Was you about to ask a question, Lee?
Oh no, I was just saying, maybe Siebe can come on again in the future as well, because he's got a lot of knowledge. He can't pass it all on in such a short amount of time.
Mate, you are welcome here anytime. Absolutely anytime, mate.
Yeah, just let me know when you need me again.
Mate, next week. You're in. Right, so let's have a look.
Which country are you in?
Yeah, depends.
One thing that I want to bring in every week is koi appreciation, not assassination. All right, but we've got Siebe, who is judged many times now. Siebe.
Oh yeah, many times. I've did since last autumn, like this koi season.
Yeah,
I did WNC in Japan, in Hiroshima, then all China.
Yeah,
all Japan, no, but Las Vegas Koi Show, Tennessee Koi Show, Junior Koi Show. So yeah, 5 so far this koi season.
And guys, I don't think, well, to be able to be a few years into the hobby and be able to stand there and judge koi, I think that just says leaps and bounds, mate, what your eye does and your passion.
Yeah, but the thing is with actually, the first time when I went to Japan with my dad, I was 14, so I learned koi when I was really young, and also there was quite an advantage because breeders, they like to explain koi to the young kid, and that I learned koi from Japanese breeders and not particularly from a dealer or something. And I think that was my main advantage on the start. And also, they recognized me from 10 years ago when I was half a meter smaller. And yeah, that's why it was much easier for me.
Same haircut.
No, longer. But that made everything for me so much easier.
Well, all I can say is wait until this, and I'm hoping, I'm not too good on this bit just yet, but I don't know. Is there a particular order you want to bring anything up, or you're just happy?
No, just go on anything.
We'll talk about it. Yeah. So, okay. So the first one is this one, and I'm going to move us over here.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Hazard a guess.
That's got a body like my mother-in-law.
Bit more.
Then we have the same one, Lee.
Maybe
95 cm. Guess.
Ooh. What are you saying? What, the breeder?
No, size.
Oh, what size?
98.
Yeah, I mean that's gotta be a meter. I'd say a meter.
Okay, I mean, Siebe size?
I know it.
Go on then. Yeah, that's what we're asking.
Yeah, 1 meter 2.
1 meter 2.
1 meter 2 and a body that you can hardly get your arms round.
Yeah, the funny thing with this this koi is I saw it at Odakan when it was, let me say, 5.5 years old and 94 cm, so already quite big, but not heavy at all. It was really a slim fish. And this koi was put available at a sales event at the end of November, but nobody wanted it, so I took it as a leftover. And then my customer, who you see here, which was Philip Popper, he has won the most Grand Champion of anybody in Europe. I think he's now on 23rd Grand Champion already. Wow. So only Ace, so B he doesn't count actually. But this fish went to his pond, like 1 or 2 months later. And the funny thing is, when he put this fish in his pond, the first thing it did was turn around and asking for food. So the amount of food this fish wants to consume is crazy, and that's why it's so big. I think now it should be like 26, 25 kilos. and it's so heavy and big. I've never seen a fish like this actually, especially in Europe. Then
She's just shy of £60 in Britain. So, wow.
What
Yeah,
farm
this
do you
one- this
reckon?
one-
Do you know what farm it's from yet, Crafty? Let's all have a guess. Go on, Crafty.
I would like to think that this is. It's not going to be, but I'd like to see this from Otsuka,
What do you reckon, Dave?
Sakai.
I'm going to say Marino.
You're
Yeah,
going to
Lee is
say
right.
who? Who'd you say, Lee?
Marino.
I mean, wow, that. I mean, that body's got like.
Looks like it's at a few toes eye to get there, doesn't it?
Well, it does, doesn't it? I mean, yeah.
But the strange thing with this fish is actually the fins, the how do you call the side fins? I don't know.
Peck fins.
The pec fins. The pec fins are the size is great. All the other fins as well. But the fin on the tail, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's
not
not
very
so
big.
long.
Yeah.
And what you see on, for example, some Momotaro fish previously, is they were like 70 cm, but their fins were like 35 cm, like a half of it.
Yeah.
So
Look like
this is where's the fish from?
Marudo.
Oh, it is Marudo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were
Oh,
right.
there we are. Cool.
So the crazy thing with this fish is 1 meter 2, but the body shape is so massive and long compared to the fins that if it had bigger fins, it would be much bigger, of course. But that makes it so heavy. Is that the size doesn't come from the fins, but it comes really from the body shape.
For me, I mean, when I was looking at this video, literally just before we went live, I said to Dave that the one thing I really love in this koi, outside of the body, is the skull structure. It is absolutely bang on for a big fish, in like my preference. Just the way that them two lines come down the head, and then you get them little cheeks come in, absolutely fantastic. It's like I'd love to have a fish like that. I mean, this guy, what
I've
sort
got to
of
say that the fish. You know, they say an owner always looks like its dog.
Siebe. I know Philip Pope, ever so nice guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, I've spoke to him quite a few times when he was down quite a few years ago now, when I've seen him down at Ogata when he's off to go to Sakai or somewhere like that, and we shared a taxi one day.
The thing with Philip was when he was so used to win everything.
Yeah,
is that when he had one very famous koi, which was the fourth step kohaku, which he brings to the koi show sometimes as well.
Yeah.
But other hobbyists start spending more or getting better fish or both. So they started to beat him. And the thing is with Philip is he spends some nice money on fish, but not the silly, crazy amounts you see somewhere else. But he was used to buying 80 cm fish or 85 cm fish, already big ones. But he realized, we made like a plan that he should spread the age in his pond, more wide, or how do you say it in English, more gradually. Yeah. Because he had so many fish that were turning 8 years old, 9 years old, or 10 years old, that in 3 years later, he didn't
He's going to have nothing.
For koi shows anymore.
Yeah.
But then he started buying 5 years old just to make the gap that he has, he otherwise had now. Now he's still winning with the fish you see later. But now he's also starting buying Nisai, even Tosai, Sansai, Yonsai. And what he has now is in Japan, he has a top level Yonsai ready, a top level Sansai ready, and a top level Nisai ready. And one of them will turn pretty bad probably, but the other two of the three will probably be a grand champion level in 3 or 4 years. And that's what he needed, that the level needed to be higher, but he wanted to spend the same money. So that's what the result was.
I mean, he was always a serious hobbyist, because I can remember being in the back of this taxi going back to the hotel from the Ogata Koi farm, and he was going through the pictures of what he'd purchased at Sakai, I think a few days before, and some really, really nice koi.
Yeah. Awesome. And he's so passionate about koi.
Yeah,
awesome.
Very nice chap.
There was a grand champion B indeed. I also sent the video to Lee of that Probably you have it after this.
Right, let's
Right,
move on to the next one. There's a load of Scrags makes a great comment. Look, couldn't afford to feed that beast on sake. Absolutely not. I don't think his food bill actually. I can imagine.
He has 50% sake. All the floating he feeds with sake, and all the sinking he feeds with FD.
There you go, mixture.
Yeah,
always good. Right,
This
next one.
Karashi.
Cool. Look at that Fukurin. That's impressive.
Good body shape for me. Head shape's off a little bit, maybe a bit too narrow, too pointy in the head. But you can't get away from the rest of that fish. It is absolutely sublime, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a great fish. Again, probably 95 cm.
Oh, should I say it?
Yeah, go on.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this one is Beppu Fish Farm.
1 meter.
Oh, Beppu.
No 1 meter. This one is 5 years old and 92.
No,
He's
right.
Yeah, pretty long and big. But the awesome thing about this fish is what Lee said is the Fukurin. And I know you will say the head is a bit pointy, but that's probably the video style because it's to the side of the ball like this. Looks
Right
a
on
bit
top.
yeah.
And that's what I said to Dave earlier. I'd like to see it from a more oblique angle.
But in real, this koi is so awesome. Now it's shipped to the Netherlands, so this won Grand Champion B in January. But if you even from 20 meters, you still see the Fukurin on this one.
Yeah.
And that's what it makes it so special. Yeah, the Beppu, they made some awesome Karashi koi the last years. We also saw it on the WNC auction year before. They went for silly money. And also the previous koi was a leftover from an event. This one was the same. And I bought it as Sansai of 75 cm. Then I sold it and it went from 75 to 85 and then from 85 to 92 something. So the size and the growth of this thing is crazy.
It's-
What's
We
the bloodline behind? What's?
Actually, I'm not very sure, but because it's Beppu and Beppu worked in Sakai, it should be.
You've got to believe it's from Sakai.
At least half of it should be Sakai.
Yeah.
It's Beppu Farm. It's
Impressive.
that I'll be quite keen to visit, but you know whether I'll get there.
Haven't you got to get a boat to get to Beppu?
Yeah, it's not easy to get to, is it?
Yeah. I love his fish, but obviously I've never been there. No, but that'd be cool.
But the difficulty with Fukurin like this is that you see every missing or misplaced skill.
Yeah.
And the awesome thing is that it doesn't have many, especially on the start when the skills are starting. But you only see it there a little bit next to the left of the dorsal.
Yeah, midway.
There's only one skill that's not perfectly in line. But still it's a great koi.
But again, mate, the quality outshines a small negative, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's
it's
you know, the reticulation's also very awesome on that fish as well.
Well, it's the old saying, everybody says, oh, it's only a chagoi, it's only a yamabuki, it's only karashigoi. And yeah, in one sense it is, but in another sense, it couldn't be further from the truth because this is what separates. This is why when you go to a breeder and you see he's got yamabuki that you can buy at that price, and then all of a sudden he'll show you one and you go, it's so much more expensive. And yet maybe a lot of hobbyists just think, well, it's only a yamabuki.
Yeah.
But it's not yummy in the right pond with the right.
Yeah.
You know, when like we were saying earlier, the Go Sankey or your Shiro, you put a single color in and it just breaks up pond up and makes
But
it.
it's not only that crafty. It's when you get the fukurin and the scalation and the evenness of this, which runs down the entire length of the body. This is what separates the koi from paying X amount to X amount, isn't it?
But this is again understanding the development in koi as well, mate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, let's face it, the single color yummy, they're not the most expensive fish in the world to buy, right? And there's decent enough ones at a reasonable price that actually you care for it and grow it, you've got a very good chance of achieving a real good standard.
Yeah.
You know?
But what they sometimes a hobbyist doesn't probably understand is that, for example, you can go to Ogata and he'll have one there. He'll have he'll have a Yamabuki there, and it could be 75 cm Sanzai, but the price of it is really quite high. Whereas a hobbyist may think, well, it's only a Yamabuki. Why is it that high for being only a Yamabuki?
But then when you see the reticulation,
But
the
this is what,
fuka in,
yeah,
the fin,
yeah,
the body, you know,
yeah.
there's a lot of work go into it, isn't there? There is.
Oh, yeah.
And also, when that skill is not perfectly in line, you will have some hobbyists. When this fish was Sansai, obviously back then you didn't see it as well as you see it now. But when they noticed, or when they said, "Yeah, it's perfect," only one skill is not in line, then they don't want it.
Yeah, they turn it down.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you ask breeders how you should judge Mujis like this, is Muji is all about body. You want body shape on those things because you want a big one, and one misplaced skills like this, they really don't care about it at all. No. But hobbyists, when they see it, and when they have another example next to it, which might be 10 cm smaller with a worse body shape, they say, I will take that one because the scales are nice.
Yeah.
And for breeders, it's so strange that how hobbyists sometimes can look at fish, especially for those Mujis.
So a question again from Master from the Shikigoi. Was it bred at Beppu Koi Farm or bought in and grown there?
Oh, no, well, it is bred at Beppu, but it was moved as Nisai to Odakan facility.
Oh, right.
There you go. Awesome.
So both this koi and the Marudo fish are both handled by Odakan.
Well, you know, and if you've been to Odakan, the two big long ponds at the back of his facility is just full of beautiful fish. This one is absolutely insanely A star for me.
Wow, the skin on that is incredible, isn't it?
The reticulation, and for people that don't understand what I mean by reticulation, just to explain, it's the balance of the scale and the symmetricalness of both sides of the fish. You could pretty much cut that fish down the middle, and you put a mirror on it and still see the same fish. It's a not again. Dave picked this up earlier. Not a shimmy in sight.
No,
either.
That looks like a bloody, I don't know, a greasy. I mean, it looks like a greasy corn on the cob, mate. It's awesome, isn't it?
They just follow down there symmetrically down the body line, don't they?
Yeah.
This koi, when this was bought from Sakai auction, and it was for Muji the price was insane. This is 5 years old and 90 cm and still in Sakai. And the won a prize in All Japan Koi Show in 90 Muji, actually on the video. But when in real, it was even more impressed because exactly what you say on the video, you see all the skills perfectly in line with a nice skin quality on it. But in real, it's totally different. It's even better than you expect it to be, and that makes this koi so awesome. And 5 years old, 90, this should be able to grow to 1 meter as well.
Siebe, what's the largest koi you've imported to the Netherlands so far?
1.5 meters.
And did it transport and did it travel okay?
Yeah. Actually, I think the big fish are not easier because they are heavy, but they do better than when you pack fishes together. Yeah.
I mean, they're probably going to sit there, aren't they? But what I found sometimes now, which concerns me a little bit, is now you're getting such big bodies on these fish, and when you see the size of the boxes, it makes you wonder how much are they sitting on there?
Coffin, aren't they?
Yeah, well, how buoyant are they actually? Is that water stopping them sitting actually on their belly and on their organs for a long time in transit?
Yeah.
Because, the height of some of these koi now, especially Dainichi and, the height of them is huge, isn't it?
Yeah, the height is huge, but actually, in my experience, everything goes pretty well. But the usually when I ship the bigger ones, they come in those very big EPS boxes. Last time there was one of 120 kilos. Yeah, that was insane. It just looked like a table, actually, the whole EPS box. It was so big. Yeah, like you could use the it was made for a forklift, actually. You could use it to get under it. But yeah, in my experience so far, all the results with big fish, like let's say over 90, are perfect. I didn't have any very big damage one. Yeah, of course you have some missing scales or whatever.
Yeah.
But nothing too crazy.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest I've brought in, so I think it's 88, and that came in, I think, 70 kilo.
Yeah.
70 kilo box. But,
yeah, last shipment in end of March, that was some quite heavy. I think I had 6 or 7 boxes of 100 kilo. That was quite awesome.
I mean, I have heard of like some horror stories with from friends that bigger fish coming in with snap tails and stuff like that. You know, it is scary, I think, isn't it? Really, bigger koi, but well, obviously Siebe's had really good results. So
yeah, but I think it's the same. It's the same with smaller fish. But then probably they are less expensive most of the time. So probably you will just say, yeah, we will try to sue it, or yeah. It's not a special story if you say to someone, I shipped a 50 cm fish and the tail snapped, right?
Yeah,
but if you ship a 100 cm
forgotten.
koi, yeah.
Right, I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll bring another video. Do I bring a video? Yeah, let's do this one.
Yeah, actually, all the fishes, this one and the 3 before, were all the Lee asked me just send anything, so I sent all the Grand Champion Bs of this year koi shows. So the Chagoi was from online. That's why it's a Grand Champion B, because that one is still in Japan. This video is from 2 weeks ago. I made this in Italy, and the hobbyist that owns this fish actually lives very close to me, like 20 minutes. And we moved this fish in boxes with cars, with one car actually, with one van, and it was in a box 14 hours before I made this video, and it won Grand Champion B. And this is Shinoda Hiyutsuri, and this one, you might not believe it, but is only 5 years old, or is going to be 5 years old next month in June, and this one is 91 cm.
Oh,
and we bought this as Sansai 70 in April 2024. Shipped it in May. And the growth of this thing is, I really can't believe it. And
Shinoda?
Shinoda. Yeah. The body is so heavy. It's incredible.
Do you know what? It's a great looking fish, you know, with a leading raise in with the benny on it, and the tail with that benny on it as well. That looks so cool, doesn't it?
Yeah. And actually, when he bought it, I said to him, probably when you put it in European water, there will come up more sumi, like those shimmies. And I've made pictures of this fish already 4 times, so we can put it all together. And actually, it was staying quite the same over time. So it's very stable fish, because those small shimmies you see on there that she has now, she already had it as Sansai. But the body shape was so good. It was a quite expensive fish as well, but the body shape was so good that the owner actually preferred this one over a cleaner one, because he expected this one to grow big. Never expected to be 90 cm in 2 years later. But at the end, the result was awesome.
You see, it's mental that Lee picked up on the orange pecks and the stripe in the tail, which both Dave and I, before you guys joined, we was talking about this fish, on how many people would toss this to the side based on having orange leading race and a bit in the tail, and the amount of sooting in the benny plate. It's like many people would overlook that for a cleaner fish. Right? And it's just proof that, again, if you're looking at the body shape, structure, look at what they turn into, man. It's or can turn into. It's, you know, for me, absolutely insane. And I dare say, I mean, the video quality is always pulled back on the streaming. To the naked eye, I bet that colour absolutely pops.
Pops.
Yeah, This koi was in the Italian koi show, and the market there is kind of developing, right? But they have a Japanese fair next to the koi show, so they have 10,000 visitors a weekend, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But we had also, probably it's also in the video later maybe, but the Grand Champion A was in a separate vat, and the Grand Champion B was in a separate vat. The Grand Champion A is a 90 cm Kohaku, but not the same body weight, but the nice one. But all people that were walking next to the vets, they all stopped at this Hiyutsuri and were saying, wow, this is really so big and amazing. And at the Kohaku was like, oh yeah, nice koi, let's move on. Yeah. So I think overall, if you have one Grand Champion of the show, this fish was like the Grand Champion and the biggest eye catcher of all. Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I mean, how often are you going to stumble across a 90 plus cm here at Zuri?
Yeah, that's very rare, especially in and you have to find somebody who has it in his pond and is crazy enough to travel 14 hours with it to a koi show in Italy. So and I did the packing early morning, and we did it with cool packs, very big box. I took bags with me from Japan. So everything went perfectly. So that was great, but still, it's quite I also said to the owner, I don't guarantee that the fish will arrive safe and get back safe. And he totally realized, and he said, just let's go and we will see what happens. But that is also, you have to find somebody who is crazy enough to do this.
So Lee Oliver has just put a comment on which will definitely make people's blood boil. I can see why females are preferred now. I thought Tony was big, so that's Lee's Hiyatsuri that he sold him.
Yeah.
And his male, yet that thing is a unit. It's like, this comes back to what we were saying earlier about the size of fish as well and competing. Right, this is a different level of competing. You know, there's nothing wrong with male fish, Lee. You know, actually more affordable, will still hold their own in a koi show in the UK within those highly competitive areas.
And not only that, Crafty, I would imagine on average more prizes are won at every show with more prizes are won with males than females.
Sizes.
You're only getting to two sizes where the females come into it, aren't they? And hats off to them guys that want to do that. You know, I love seeing the big koi.
Absolutely.
But what it does tell you is that there's an awful lot of female koi coming into the UK every year and bought as female because we want to grow them big. Yet at every show,
you don't see them.
Where are they?
Yep.
You're seeing one, two, or maybe three.
I mean, when you look at the sizes that compete in the GC, mate, I think 9 to 11 fish fit the bill.
Yeah,
and only really 2 or 3 will be in contention, down to 2, and it'll be a close call most of the time.
Yeah.
You know, and there's only certain hobbyists that show that really have the running for that. You know, it's like, you know,
and
if
also,
you aspire to be it, please be it. But you know,
well, I take my hat off to these hobbyists that can keep koi and grow koi to that sort of size, because it's no easy feat, Crafty. I mean, the investment for the koi to start with, the investment of the running cost, the investment of the food,
and time,
and you know, and they can nearly get it there, and something goes wrong for them.
I mean, I think though, Dave, you're not just going to be buying one koi. Like,
no,
you know, Siebe, your customers, when they're buying these units, they're buying more than one fish, right, before they get the one that actually does the business.
Yeah, preferably not. But obviously it takes some time to get there. But my experience with the fish before, the bees are, for example, the Karashi was already pretty big when he bought it. The Chagoi was already pretty big when he bought it. The Sakai one was already, it was bought last autumn, so that was not so special. But those are easier to hit, right? Because they're already big, they are already quite developed. They are over Yonsai, but this fish was pretty young, and it didn't have anything special because it had a body shape. But if Shinoda knew that in 2 years it could be this, he wouldn't sell it.
No, yeah.
Because this coin now, the owner bought it for a reasonable amount of money, not too crazy, but for Hyutsuri a lot of money. But if he wants to buy this fish now, this will be millions of yen.
Yeah.
Because even in Japan, this body shape and size of Hyutsuri is very rare.
Yeah.
So this could be a mishit as well, because we didn't know exactly that it would be so special now. For example, it also could be 73 cm now, full with shimis. That would be the other side. But the other ones that were on the screen before are much easier fish to predict, actually.
It's superb. Let me see if I can pull up the. I'm going to pull this one up, I think. So Belgium.
Yeah, this is a genuine chagoi.
I quite like the Sankey in this, but I ain't going to lie.
The Sankey was the best fish, I think.
But yeah, again,
look at the jowls on that.
Again, it's like we love the big fish, don't we? We loved looking at the big fish. And Sakai fish again.
No, this is the same as the same fish, the Modo one. The one with the
guy that was picking it up. So that was from this video.
Yeah, Stephen Coy.
Right, cool. There you go. So you're seeing what I think this really helps do is show it against other big fish that are in there, and just how
it looks a lot bigger here, doesn't it, than in that bowl?
Yeah, it looks different in there. It looks better.
It's better, yeah.
And what I said about the Hyutsuri, that was the general grand champion of the show, I think this koi basically had the same feeling, because this video I posted on Facebook went viral. Let's say it had a lot of likes and views, and also many people sent me a video of this koi. Wow, this was really awesome! Or I saw it somewhere on YouTube or Facebook. And of course, Grand Champion was also an amazing koi, but the attention of people to the size and the quality of this koi was so big. So for me, it was it felt like the overall Grand Champion, if you get what I mean.
It's like, I get it.
Or the People's Grand Champion, I should call it.
I'm going to try something. I've never done it before, right? But we need to bring this up. I'm going to just change the background back to that one. And I've got to go on here. Let's create that. Start and show. Right, let's move it. Are we going to be able to move that? Oh, well. We'll keep it there for now. Right, so the poll is there. On your screens, guys, you have got Free Kahaku from left through to right, A, B, C. Dead simple. Let's get people voting in on this. And we've got a video of these as well, Siebe, haven't we? So while that's running in the background, what I'll do is I'll bring up the video, which is here, and I will. How do I get rid of that? Bear with me, just there. And we need to move us up there. There we go.
That's better.
Right, let's have a look. Lee, where are these from, do you think? Let's see if I can bring us to a better place. There we go.
Where they're from? Oh, my God, it could be a majority of places, couldn't it? If they're from Siebe, probably... I don't know. Are they Odakan's own bread? No.
Yeah, Sakai.
Sakai, okay.
Sakai, yeah.
Right, so again, A on the left, B in the middle, C on the right. So A is the one that is a 3-step pattern. B is the one that's got the maritime spot. And C is the one with the second done that's small and fat either side of the fish. Oh, here we go. Why don't it go back to what we had? There we go. So best fish, that's what we're looking for. First and foremost, quality is in there. Skin is absolutely unbelievable. What size are these, Siebe?
These were all between 29 and 31. And this was a box from the auction. And usually I don't like to buy sets or boxes because you always have one nice koi, one so-so koi, and one very shitty fish.
Yeah.
But one this box didn't really have, or in my eyes, didn't really have one very shitty koi. And all three were bought by the same customer. And what I do sometimes for customers, or still do, is I grow the koi for them, and especially I grow them for koi shows. So I prepare them for showing levels. And in the Netherlands, we have a kind of junior koi show, which is a Tossai show until a certain size. We have young shows, and we have the big shows, of course. So with these, my plan when I bought them was to prepare them for the junior koi show. And I see in the comments as well is that many people are going for koi A, which is a nice. There are two sundogs actually.
The one that's at the bottom at the minute.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I have the proof on my phone. Is when the customer bought all three, he circled that one as well and said, "Yeah, that one will be the best." And I circled the one on the bottom now.
That's the one I like, the bottom left.
Yeah,
That's body.
and the weak fish in this bowl is of course the Yondan, the Marutan kind of thing. And when we start growing these koi, the Marutan straight off went crazy. That koi went to the hobbyist last week and was 29 here, arrived in May 2025, went to the customer's pond in April on 62 cm. So it went from 30 to 62 in 1 year, which is awesome. But that koi I kept for growing because it's not really a good koi for shows, right? It has a little bit thick sashi, which is nice for the future, but for koi shows on Tossa levels, not enough. So that koi I continued feeding and keeping on high temperature, and the other two I kept for koi shows. So a little bit lower temperature, but still some good feeding. And the one that the most people vote on, the A, it was a very difficult fish to get body on. It always had that skinny-ish shape. And the other one, C, you already see it here on the video. It looks like it has a smaller head compared to A. But what the fish has is it has a very strong shoulder. So even when it's smaller, it looks very powerful. And maybe those two now probably I don't know which is C. Is that a Marutan or the other one?
C is the one on the left now. C.
Yeah, the one on the left. Yeah. So C now is I think should be around 50 cm as Nisai. Actually it's 50 cm, and the body is very big. A is maybe 42, 43 as Nisai and very skinny, and B is 62 Nisai and also a very big body. But B is a koi that has to compete on big sizes because it doesn't have the flashy pattern, but can be a good koi for the future. And the other two, they were perfect as Tosai, because A and C are brought to the junior koi show last year September, and C went grand champion and A went supreme champion. So it was pretty close fight. But what you see now is that after that, the other one went downhill and the other one went further uphill. So A is now a very worthless koi. B is very good for the future, and C is very good for koi shows still. And I still have it now in my facility.
So let me just bring that up. So again, Siebe, A is what?
A is let's say shitty.
Okay, which is
turned out shit.
B.
B is now 62 cm, very good for the future.
And C.
Now 50 cm and great for koi show still.
Yeah.
And when we look at, let's just pull us back over there. I wish it just kept us where we were supposed to be, which is.
You have the video of C. I sent to Lee as well. I don't know if you saw.
Oh, okay. We got right.
You should have it.
I have downloaded it. So Mick's come back, and this is where, when we have someone like Siebe on that has got obviously knowledge of where the fish has gone, it's quite important to see what they started out with and what they turned into as well. But we take his word for it. For me, the pattern is balanced all the way down the body and a good body shape. You know.
Yeah, but actually, when you look at this video, he wasn't wrong. The pattern is balanced and the body shape is nice. But that's what's just the gamble with those Tosai. And these are three sisters. They are from the same bloodline. But it's so funny to see that they have three koi of the same genetics, and they all develop in such a different way. And I can fully understand that for this ball you will choose A, but 1 year later, when I put them in the ball all three together, which would be quite funny but not impossible. It's possible now. But when I made the same video 1 year later, I think nobody would have choose for A anymore. Nobody.
Yeah. For me, it's the one that's on the left now, which was C.
Yeah. And you can still see it at this age, the difference in the body structures already now.
Massive. Yeah, massive difference.
And I can see why people would go straight away for the obvious, shall we say.
But you can see the height, you can see the shoulders on B. It just looks, you can see it's going to be immense, isn't it? The power in that.
Yeah. It's like, that first stand coming off the head, the keyword on the back of that looks absolutely sublime.
Yeah.
And the sash is really tight too, eh?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, actually, I bought this set for those two fishes, and the other one was just a bonus fish. But the bonus fish just ended up to be really nice as well.
Was the jewel?
Can you find the video of that, Kraft?
Yeah, I'll try and pull it up now.
Awesome.
But people will get drawn towards the one with the 3-step pattern, if you like, because the others need to the skin needs to thicken up slightly for the pattern to the Kiwa and Sashi is quite good on that first one, wasn't it?
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like about about number A is straight away as Tosai is that it has a lot of Maruzome Kiwa, where all the Benny goes with the skills, which looks really nice here.
Yeah.
But when you start growing koi like this, the Kiwa is the risk is there that's going to break. And of course you can judge the Benny depth on these videos a little bit about when you see the Sashi, but you don't know when you are going to heavily grow it if the Kiwa can hold. I was not afraid that the Benny would vanish, but more like now you have all the nice round Kiwa with the scales, and when you start to grow it and the Benny cannot keep up with the growth, then it can be super messy. It have all those how you say it, hooks.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that was the advantage with Koi C, that eventually was the best one. Of course, also has some Maruzome Kiwa, especially on the first step. But on the second step and the last step, it's just straight. So it's an easier fish to grow bigger. And the other one, the B, same story. And that one has very big sashi as well. So I was not scared that the Kiwa could hold the growth.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't believe I've got a video of it, Siebe.
Oh, sorry, mate. I've not sent it to you, but we can.
This is the picture from last January, and it also won young champion 2 times this year.
Very nice.
Yeah, it is a beauty. God, man, I wish it just remembered where we were. That's really annoying me. But it is what it is. Right, so the poll says A, doesn't it? Let's have a look.
Yeah, pretty much.
For A, and I believe in the comments it was heavily weighted towards A as well. So, Siebe, that is absolutely stunning, mate. Thank you for supporting that. That was a good little exercise. Let's bring it on to this beast here. Let me bring that widget off. Let's hide that now, or hide. Show stop. That's why I would hide it. There you go. So in the comments, right before we start picking it apart or admiring it, whichever we're going to do, what's the biggest thing that stands out on this koi in comparison to where you would expect certain parts of this to be in a show? Because I think when I bring the next fish up, I think it will set it apart. You know, where's this one from, Siebe, Momotaro,
Dainichi.
Dainichi. We were discussing this earlier, weren't we, mate? When Dave, you know.
Yeah.
This is Dainichi, also from Odakan. I'm Odakan fanboy, as you see. But yeah.
Does the video depict it quite well, or is it?
Does the lighting let it down a bit?
Yeah.
I don't think the lighting's very good there now.
You find it yellow?
Yeah.
I think in real it was very white, and that's why he won.
Okay.
But yeah, the light is pretty sad indeed.
Yeah. And you know, we knew you was going to say that, which really outlines, you know, some of the rules that we speak about when buying fish. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, not everyone's got the ability to visit a dealership, but it's quite important to see fish in the flesh, right? Because pictures don't always paint them in the best light, irrespective of what you think. You know?
Yeah, but actually, when I'm in Japan with customers as well, and you harvest a fish or a fish is not just in good condition, they can be very yellow.
Yeah, I had one from NND, a Tancho Sankey that was, it was, well, let's just say it was pure pink.
yeah, but usually, even when it's super yellow, I don't really mind because it's the Shirodi quality. 9 out of 10 times is just a conditioning thing.
Yeah. Totally agree.
And this koi was actually very well prepared. The body still looks good here, but this koi was shipped here on the 18th of March, so it was kept in my facility. But during that time, of course, I have cameras, and but this was the first koi my new staff member actually kind of prepared.
Yeah.
So we had a whole schedule how you should do it, and then actually went pretty well because we won Grand Champion obviously. That was great. But this koi is from Dainichi DS Kohaku, and the DS stands for Dynamite Sakai, which derives from Karashi bloodlines. And so, as far as I'm concerned, probably this koi is 12.5% Karashi. Maybe what is then the next step? 6 point something. So you still have those the very big body shapes that you get from this bloodline, but yeah, we couldn't showcase that body shape that she had before because she went on shipment, so she didn't have food for like 4 weeks before. During quarantine, almost no food. During preparation, almost no food. So when we brought her to the show, I actually thought, she wouldn't win because the body shape was not on where she could have been. But at the end, she still won.
I'm being funny, Siebe, but the body shape still looks fantastic, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know. But when I see this fish, in my eyes, the shoulders could be 2 cm wider.
Yeah.
If you gave me half a year more, then she would be much better and much bigger. So now she's already nice koi, but I think next year the difference will be huge. Then the shoulders will really pop out more because you have the nice head, similar to the chagoi, for example, with those big eyes, the big skull you have.
Yeah.
But in my eyes, the head and the body
needs to be a little bit more protruding.
Yeah, they are now in one line, which looks nice. It looks like it has a nice flow, but it can be much heavier.
Siebe, is this at your facility now, is it?
No. After the show, I went to the customer plant.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So the show. Sorry, Dave.
No, go on.
I'm just going on. So the shows in the Netherlands, how does that run then? Because over here, obviously, the fish need to be in a participators sort of like pond for 30 days before the show.
Yeah, we don't have it. But the thing is as a company or as a dealer, I never participate on shows. On none of them, because in my eyes it's very weird to compete against your own customers, and also feels a little bit unfair.
Well, it's not that. It's like, for instance, now if I bought a fish from Crafty or from Dave, if I was a hobbyist, I'd have to take it back to my pond for a minimum of 30 days before I took that to the show. I couldn't buy the fish, leave it in Dave's or Crafty's to grow it, and then take it to the show and plop it in the vat the day of the show.
No, I think that's a UK thing. None of the European shows has it.
Right. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's just a UK thing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because this koi was one day before the show, the day before.
Yeah.
It was in my facility, and then
Same as Japan, as the Japanese.
Yeah.
Right, Siebe, this is by far probably one of the best conditioned fish I've ever seen. And the camera does. Let's move our ugly mugs over there and look at this.
That's what you call skin.
That's what you call buchering. That's what you call Benny plate. That's what you call Shiroji. That's what you call body mass. You know, there's just nothing in that for me as good as any Kahaku could ever get.
That
Actually,
is amazing.
this koi as a dealer for me was quite important, because I bought this I think 3 years ago when it was 4.5 years old. Back then it had a very nice shape but no power. But I knew, because this koi is bred by Maekawa Genjiro, and they use very famous bloodlines for this. They use Neo Universe, which is the same bloodline as Legend, the most expensive koi in the world. And they use the Kinsen bloodlines from Dainichi Toyota, and some more Dainichi stuff. So I know the bloodlines of this koi was awesome, but the body mass was not yet there. And the owner of this koi, which is the same owner as the Jinmin Chagoi, which, he has won so many grand champions. I said to him, you need to buy this koi. This will be really nice in 1 or 2 years. And actually, he said, okay, I will buy it from you because it's you advise it. But of course, when it will turn out in shit, he didn't say it, but I felt like it. If it would be very bad, I don't think he would buy any more fish from me, right? But the awesome thing was, he went to different dealers, and I offered him this koi for him, it's the cheapest fish in his pond. And he went to other dealers where he could find, the same size, also a Kohaku, but for a higher price. And they all went to the koi show like half a year later, and this koi beat all of those other fish that were more expensive, even triple the price of what he paid for this koi. So then he thought by himself, this guy can probably help me getting better fish. And that's why he started buying all his koi from me. So, and now it has won grand champion 3 or 4 times, but and it's so big and so heavy. And as you see, he can condition it really well. So it's a very hard koi to beat on koi shows.
Is that Philip Popes as well?
Yeah.
Well,
what size is it, did you say?
And now it's 87, 88.
It's,
That's very, mate. That is pretty impressive, isn't it?
That is one of them fish that you would have to just keep. I mean, for me, if I was to see that in the flesh in a show, I would have to visit that vat numerous times, because it's not often that your eyes are graced over such pleasure. It's like when you see a fish and you go, whoa. You're like, when I pulled this up, I was like, holy.
Yeah.
What a beautiful koi.
I mean, the depth of that Benny is just.
Yeah, that was the thing with this koi straight away when I bought it.
Yeah.
The Benny and the skin was so nice. And when I bought this koi, because I bought this from Narita, it was in Narita and Nagoya. When you checked it from the side, the distribution of the fat was perfect. Like it was like a cigar all over the fish. Usually with some kois they look more like a helicopter, right? They have a tent there. But this koi was from the side, both sides was so perfectly shaped that I knew if I put this koi into Philip's pond, and he is very good in getting body shape on his fish, that the fat that would grow on this koi would be so nicely distributed all over the fish that the body would be perfect like it's now. Because when he bought it, I think there's like 10 kilos difference, because from he bought it to where it's now. But the fat distribution of the fish was so good when it was younger that I was sure when it would get older, it would look like this.
He's got a good pond, Philip, hasn't he?
Yeah. For size growth is not the best, but for body shape is perfect.
Yeah.
What setup does he run, Siebe?
He has a drum with a very big. He uses mountain tree stuff, moving bed. Has a lot of mats. He just has a lot of medium, basically. But he has a very unique style of keeping, actually, because very old school, which is nice. But actually, when he bought this koi and I brought it to him, that was also the first time he started feeding sinking food. He never did before. So I said to him, yeah, try it one season, you will see the difference. And that's what also makes a huge difference for him, because those big guys, they like sinking food more than floating.
Absolutely.
So for him, on every fish, the body increase because of the sinking foods was quite obvious.
Well, all I can say is that I am pure jealous that he's got that and I haven't. That's all. It's like, and I think we're all probably in the same boat. Right, we are coming up to 2 hours and 25 minutes. So
it's been a good one.
I think what we can say is that Siebe, all I can say, and on behalf of everybody watching as well, mate, thank you very much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure.
That was a pleasure for me as well. Really nice.
You know, I mean, for all of us, it's so nice to get like-minded people on to have discussion, ask questions, a bit of a laugh, but ultimately to put something together for people to watch and really enjoy. And you know, it's
Siebe, you remind me of when I first went to Ogata quite a few years ago. You probably know this guy. You remind me so much of a guy called Joachim. Do you know Joachim? Joachim Clement?
Yeah. Belgian guy.
Yeah. I mean, if he was like, we always had a joke with him because he was he knew every Sakai bloodline. He knew every parent sets. He you know, such a really, and he was only a young lad at the time then, with his father running the business as well. And he's very similar to you in that way, that he had the similar sort of knowledge quite young. Yeah.
I think Joachim quit selling koi just before I started.
Yeah. Very nice guy.
I saw him on some koi shows. Yeah, and really knowledgeable as well.
Yeah, but he was. Yeah.
So I think that auto underscore blip has definitely taken a liking to Siebe. So watch out at the national, because he'll probably, I don't even know who it is, to be fair, but we will get you back on, hopefully.
Siebe will be at the national. He'll be working in my store, Tapaguchi.
But he'll also be working somewhere else. But we'll keep that one under the hat
for next week.
For next week.
Anyway, guys, that's enough from us tonight. I haven't had no dinner, and me belly thinks the throat has been cut. But again, Lee, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Dave, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, nice guys. Thanks, Siebe.
Thank you.
I think the biggest round of applause goes to Siebe.
Yep.
Siebe, thank you once again, mate. And we'll see you again next week, where I believe we will have Matt Stevens from the National Koi Show joining us. So until then,
cheers, everybody. Thank you.
Good night, guys. Have a good one.
Stay there, Siebe. Don't disappear.
Oh, Crafty, 2 seconds.
Go on.
I must give these guys a massive shout.
Yasu, upside down, Dave. There you go.
There you go, mate.
Yasu.
Yeah, they sorted me out with our new gear, so they
buy these on there as well.
Yeah,
Lee's stuff on there.
Absolutely fabulous. Thanks, guys.
The only place to buy your koi apparel, in my
Another super quick one as well. A little shout out. On Sunday, I'm going up to North Wales to see Daryl in Koi Heaven. If you want to go up there, go to his website, buy a £2.50 ticket so he knows the numbers, and I'll see you there on Sunday morning.
Okay, so Beans, you've got it. I feel left out. Another one that I forgot to plug. All right, competition page, Marasaka, certified fish, all available. Whack some money down. You could win a bloody nice tozai that is certified by Marasaka, but nothing more than £1. So
have they not all gone yet, Crafty?
No, we've had some winners though, mate.
Oh, right. 'Cause
Unbelievable. If you do that, guys, obviously put my name in the thing and you get your 5% off. Koi Soldier.
Yeah, so put Lee's. It's that way, Lee, isn't it? Is it that way?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's me.
Yeah, it's always the wrong way on here.
There you are.
Koi
There you are.
Soldier in the what do we call you? Ambassadors or something.
That's it.
And you'll get a bit of discount. So anyway, enough of the plugs.
Good night,
Yeah.
guys.
Everybody, thanks
Cheers.
for tuning
Thanks,
in, guys.
mate.
See you next week.